Moshe Rabbeinu had difficulties understanding a number of commandments that he has been given by Hashem to transmit to the Jewish people, such as, we spoke last week, the mitzvah of Machzis HaShekel, the half a coin. He had a difficulty with the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle in the desert. Particular difficulty with the menorah, the candelabra in the temple. What was his difficulty and how was this resolved? So we'll talk about it in a moment, but first of all, let us say thank you to Hashem for having all these matters and ultimately the final temple, the Beis HaMikdash. מזמן לסוידרי לאדוני כל הרצים דסדני בשמחו בו לפנו בנונו דוק אדוני אלוהים הוא עשנו ולא אנחנו מבצע מריסה בו ישרו בסוידו חצויסה בסילו הוידו לבוכו שמוי כי טוי ואדוני לעולם חסדו וידור ודור אמון הסוי. And let's give a half a coin, a full coin, a bill, whatever you have, but let's give some tzedakah. It is definitely the right thing to do for the security and the well-being of all of Klal Yisrael and all of humanity. So as I mentioned, three concepts, three items. Machzis HaShekel, the mitzvah of where each individual had to give a half a coin for the temple, of which sacrifices, the daily sacrifices were brought, and so on. The menorah, which God told him to make a menorah of one piece, golden candelabra, 7 branches, and the whole Mishkan, the whole construction of the entire tabernacle, the traveling temple. I always like to joke that Moshe Rabbeinu must have been a Lubavitcher Chassid, a Lubavitcher Rebbe, I should say. Who would think of a traveling, of a Mishkan, a temple mobile? Right? Only Lubavitcher would think of that. But joke aside, what was his difficulty and how was it answered? The Machzis HaShekel, Moshe Rabbeinu's difficulty was, because it says that half a coin came as an atonement for having committed the sin of the golden calf. Moshe Rabbeinu was asking, is it possible that such a fundamental sin as rejecting godliness, accepting quote unquote an idol, and this could be forgiven by giving a half a coin, a half a dollar? That seems to be too easy. That was his question. The Mishkan, what it says in the pasuk of this week's of the parsha, God says, build for me a temple, a tabernacle, and I will dwell in it, in them. Moshe Rabbeinu is wondering, God, infinite being, infinite existence, can dwell in the confinement of a building. Whatever size the building is irrelevant. But how could we even fathom the idea that an infinite being is confined, is present, dwelling, says, I will be there fully invested in this place? Moshe Rabbeinu says, how does this work? And finally, the menorah. The menorah, which has the 7 branches, which represents the different types and categories of Jewish people, although all Jews are the same, all Jews are equal. But Moshe Rabbeinu says everybody has a different way of expressing himself. The 7 emotions, which each are different. How can all this be made from one piece of gold? How does this even blend together? Especially when it has to be made from one piece, and yet this one piece expresses everyone's different approach. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu's questions are. And what does it say? God showed him a half a coin in fire. The same thing is with the Mishkan. It says God showed him the whole Mishkan in fire. And then again, the same thing with the menorah. He showed them a menorah in fire. What's the answer? So the answer is as follows. The fire represents the essence of the Jew, the essence of the world, the essence of all being. Says God, it is not the physical dimension of the half a coin. It's not the physical dimension of the golden menorah. It's not the physical dimension of the building of the Mishkan. It's the essence of it. When we tap into our essence, and when our essence is flaming, is pure, is on fire, then we're forgiven the golden calf, and then we unify with each other, and that's when God is present here. And may this ultimate presence be revealed in the Holy Temple.